Hello. So, what are we going to talk about today? Well, I thought it would be cool to talk about stuff in Europe, just because Europe is very interesting. Uh, what do you think is going to happen in Europe? First of all, I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about Europe. Put all your stuff in the comments. But since I've been paying a lot of attention to the news and stuff, one thing I've been noticing is that it seems to me that Europe will almost certainly fall, right? I don't think the nationalists, which, it's like, first I might want to explain how I feel about the nationalists. The way I feel about the nationalists is the enemy of my enemy is my friend, right? I'm an individualist. I believe that the individual should be elevated above all other things. And that second, behind the individual, I would say would be the family. But that is neither here nor there. The point is, being an individualist, I'm not fond of most nationalists, because most nations don't stand for individualism. I'm more fond of American nationalists than the others, just because I find them to be less opposed to individualism than most nationalists, but, as they say. Anyhow, the thing that I was getting to, the point of this video, is my thing that I think the scenario with Europe will be is... Also, if you're wondering what that sound in the background is, they're testing the tornado sirens. Anyway, what I think will happen in Europe is I think that the nationalists will mostly die in some kind of glorious revolution. They might have some kind of a small stronghold somewhere, like maybe they'll get hauled up in Switzerland or in Eastern Europe. But I think that there's a couple of countries that will probably almost certainly fall. Like, I think that England will probably fall, maybe Scotland too. I'm a bit less certain about Ireland, because even though it seems to be going down the same route, it's also a country that is much more isolated than England, so it might be able to save itself if it changes, soon enough. Or like what's another country? The nationalists might try to hide in Sweden, but I'm not sure that Sweden would be all that willing to let them in, since Switzerland, I think would not be all that willing to let them in, because Switzerland just is Switzerland. They're completely neutral on everything. It's like the kingdom of the fencers. Anyway, Sweden, I would say, is probably done for, and probably many of the other Scandinavian countries too. Not Norway, I don't think. I think Norway might be fine, but that could just be my own bias, because they're one of the only countries that's not in the EU, and naturally, since I dislike the EU, I basically just want to say all of the EU countries fail, and the only people that don't fail are the good, proper countries, brah. So just keep that in mind. Anyhow, so I think that a lot of Europe will fall, and some of it might not, and the parts of Europe that don't get conquered by some kind of Islamic caliphate will just be like the nationalist strongholds, and since the individualists will be welcome neither in nationalist Europe nor in Islamic Europe, I think that they will flee to America, and also to maybe to Japan. Maybe, I'm not sure if Japan would be probably to America and South America, just further west, I suppose. They'd be driven across the sea. Anyhow, but that's about most of my theory, I suppose. What do you guys think about Europe? Are you very interested in that kind of stuff? Like, you think there's going to be some kind of weird post-apocalyptic scenario, something like that? Maybe nukes will be launched. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. possibility because some of those European countries do have nukes. Like I think France has some nukes. So if France got conquered by the Islamic Caliphate, America would have no choice but to launch nukes on them before they could launch nukes on us. There could be nukes. Like in between 10 and 30 years' time, we could see nukes get launched. In our lifetimes, that would be horrible. I mean, it'd be extremely fascinating, but the tax of human life. And just, well, I guess modern day nuclear bombs aren't so bad as the old ones, because they leave less leftover radiation. They use up so much of the material that there's less radiation. So, whereas it took decades to clean up, the radiation from like bomb testing sites in America and Russia, and Chernobyl is still a disaster, though it's less of a disaster than it was 30 years ago. Or like there's that one like nuclear site that blew up in Japan. People are still trying to clean that area up. All that, like the nuclear bombs that we have nowadays, like they're so efficient that the land would probably be safe to use in like a year.